Hello everyone, welcome to Matador News. I'm Lorenzo Mutia.
And I'm Kourtney Williams.
Secretary of State John Kerry has arrived in Iraq. Meanwhile, in Washington, President Obama is preparing to make a nationwide address on the strategy to defeat ISIS or ISIL in the Middle East. Kerry is there to meet new Iraqi Prime Minister. He says the U.S. and its allies will not allow the terror to continue.
Later this month. And that is because the United States and the world will simply not stand by and watch as ISIL's evil spreads.
Kerry will travel to Saudi Arabia after his visit.
Some students here at CSUN seem not to be fully aware of the threat of ISIS, but Journalism Professor David Blumencrantz says he sees the need for imminent concern.
Well, whether or not he was giving a speech tonight, definitely they seemed like a threat to all civilized people anywhere in the world, including America.
President Obama will be giving his speech tonight at 6 p.m.
Experts say al-Qaeda and ISIS are competing for the leadership of the global jihadist movement. ISIS was expelled from al-Qaeda after leader Ayman al-Zawahiri's demand that it restricted its activities in Iraq. ISIS mimics the brutality towards non-Muslims as seen by their predecessors in al-Qaeda, but it embodies the imagination of the new generation of jihadists.
A father of 5 is being held in a Mississippi jail. State officials say he has been charged with child endangerment. The children's mother reported them missing from their South Carolina home. Authorities say they were found dead in Alabama. Their remains were discovered off a dirt road. Jones led the police to the crime scene.
He didn't seem, rude or mean or anything like that. He was just, and you could tell he really loved his kids, especially his baby girl.
Jones is waiting to be extradited to South Carolina for prosecution.
It's National Suicide Prevention Week. CSUN students and staff are coming together to promote and spread awareness about suicide alertness. Matador News reporter Rosanna Siracusa is live in Studio B.
Hi, I'm here with Judith DeBonis, Assistant Professor of Suicide Prevention in the Department of Social Work. Hi, Judy.
Hello.
Thank you for coming.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Thank you. So, how common is it for college students to die by suicide?
Well, we know that the national number is 1,100 college students a year that die by suicide, and that is an enormous number. And it may not represent all of the students that die by suicide because it doesn't include graduate students, only undergraduate students. Oh, and wow. Others may be on campus as well that don't get identified as their death by suicide.
Now, I saw the wall of Post-it notes in the bookstore complex. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Well, yeah, that's part of our college. It's a project we have on campus. It's a grant, actually, through SAMHSA. Okay. It's a Garrett Lee Smith grant. Garrett Lee Smith was a senator whose son died by suicide, and he's now funding colleges and universities. So we're part of a bigger group of 100 colleges and universities participating in this grant to try to raise awareness on campus about suicide and suicide prevention efforts. And so our postal wall, our post-it is a message board that we were hoping people would put out some messages of hope. So it's Suicide Prevention Week this week, and today is Suicide International. It's an international recognition day for suicide. So we got the idea from other campuses who have posted messages for people just to post their messages of hope, because a lot of times people that are suicidal feel hopeless.
Now, does CSUN offer services on campus for students that are in need of support?
Yeah, we have tremendous support on our campus through our counseling center, through the health services. We have we have our police department, that our campus security, and we created a sticker for the back of students' cards so that they can always carry those emergency numbers with them. Perfect. For all the services on campus.
Perfect. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
The Cal State University Board of Trustees is considering allowing only transfer students into the CSU. The LA Times reports the trustees warned in a meeting Tuesday that continued inadequate state funding could prompt the rejection of new freshmen in the future. Governor Brown called for close to $120 million to be added to the CSU budget for next year. But officials say that is not enough. More than 750,000 students applied at Cal State schools for fall 2014.
CSUN's Greek community is hosting its annual Rush Week. Following the death of Armando Villa, the Pi Kappa Phi fraternity will not participate in this year's Rush Week. Villa died in July after a hazing incident, and the fraternity has voluntarily closed its CSUN chapter. University President Diane Harrison says hazing is unacceptable and has no place on CSUN campus.
The San Diego County Sheriff's Department is still searching for a prisoner who escaped from their central jail. 26-year-old Don Andrea Torrio escaped yesterday under unclear circumstances. Torrio was awaiting a hearing on drug charges after being arrested on Friday.
Nevada Governor Brian Sandoval has declared a state of emergency after severe flooding affected the southwestern part of the state. He has dispatched a team to estimate the cost of damage in hopes to qualify for state and federal help. Officials say 30 homes in Clark County have been flooded, and a 50-mile stretch of Interstate 15 could remain closed for days. The town of Mopa received more than 4 inches of rain in just 2 hours.
The metal fire in Yosemite National Park has burned more than 4,000 acres and is 10% contained. Hundreds of lightning strikes earlier this month are believed to be the cause of the fire, but strong winds increase the severity of the blaze. Hikers have been forced to evacuate, and trails in the surrounding area have been closed as a result of the fire. No injuries have been reported.
Now we will turn to Jonathan Gripe with more on the Ray Rice situation.
Well, Ray Rice continues to dominate news coverage 2 days after TMZ released security footage of Rice punching his then-fiancée, Juaneeq Palmer. CSUN students say the NFL's ruling and Ravens' decision to release Rice is harsh but fair.
I think he should be suspended for what he did, because he shouldn't put a hand on any woman.
I think it was somewhat excessive, but he does deserve what he got.
I'm glad he got suspended. I mean, obviously the Ravens should have let him go a long time ago, and the NFL should have done more investigation.
2 other NFL defensive players, Greg Hardy of the Carolina Panthers and Ray McDonald of the San Francisco 49ers, have been arrested this past offseason for domestic violence, although both of those cases are still under investigation, and both of those players were allowed to take the field for last weekend's season kickoff. And Ravens fans in Maryland might be able to find one more use for their Ray Rice jerseys. An Italian restaurant has decided to trade the old number 27 uniforms and turn them into free pizzas. Hirsch's Pizza and Drinks in Baltimore will also donate $2.70 for every jersey to a local women's shelter. The Ravens team store is also doing what they can to keep as many Rice jerseys out of sight on Sunday afternoons. Fans can go to stadium stores at M&T Bank Stadium, the home of the Ravens, to exchange their Rice jerseys. Ray Rice also had endorsement contracts terminated, such as his deal with Nike and also with EA Sports. They announced they will be removing Rice from their video games by Friday. Atlanta Hawks general manager Danny Ferry is under scrutiny after making racist remarks about Miami Heat star Luol Deng's South Sudanese birthplace. Deng spoke out about it, saying he was proud of who he is and of his background. Ferry says the statement does not reflect his views, and Hawks CEO Steve Koonin has reportedly punished Ferry for his action. And now we turn to Stephanie Lopez for the latest in business.
Apple reveals 3 highly awaited new devices: the iPhone 6, the iPhone 6 Plus, and the Apple Watch. The new iPhone 6 is 4.5 inches, the iPhone 6 Plus is 5.5 inches, making both phones bigger than the iPhone 5. The phones include new systems like the Apple Pay, which allows you to tap the phone against a sensor to make payments. The Apple Watch has 3 watch faces and comes in 2 sizes. Apple has not commented on the watch's battery life, but says the watch is still under construction. Although people were able to interact with the devices, the watches were carefully monitored. The Apple Watch is scheduled to be out early next year. The new iPhones will be available on September 19th. Facebook has joined the $200 billion club. The company's stock price ended Tuesday at just under $77 a share, making the company valued at $202 billion. That makes Facebook the 14th most valuable company in the world. The social media powerhouse has seen its value rise over 40% since the beginning of the year. Facebook is now considered larger than the technology company IBM and Coca-Cola. On Wall Street today, stock prices are down. At last check, the Dow Jones is at. And now we turn over to Jonathan Gripe for the latest on health.
An enterovirus has sent hundreds of children to hospitals across 12 different states. On average, there are 10 to 15 million viral infections every year in the U.S., but this type of enterovirus is less common and health officials are concerned. The director for infectious diseases at Children's Mercy Hospital in Kansas City, Missouri, Dr. Marianne Jackson, has practiced pediatrics for 30 years. She says the number of children needing intensive care is unprecedented. Hospital staff members noticed the virus spike around August 17th, right as young students were returning to school. And now we turn back to Stephanie Lopez with the latest on Fashion Week.
Miley Cyrus is set to debut her first collection of art today. Her collection will consist of neon-colored sculptures made out of random objects like plastic jewelry and teddy bears. Serena Williams had her first runway show this week, showing her new Serena Williams signature collection of clothing. Williams says it's casual wear, but pumped up everyday wear that is actually realistic. Box office profits were down 25% from last year's records. That's almost $1 billion less than last year. This number would have been larger if not the Guardians of Galaxy, this summer's hit. It made more than $200 million. Critics like Rotten Tomatoes gave the movie an approval rate of 92%. This has been the first summer since 2001 that no movie topped $300 billion domestically. And now we take it back to news with Kourtney and Lorenzo.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Lorenzo Mutia.
And I'm Kourtney Williams. This is Matador News. Have a great day.